Hey everyone, today we're really lucky to be invited down to Volkswagen Commercial Vehicles in Milton Keynes because we're here at the world launch of the ID.Buzz. This is incredible and I can't wait to show you around this amazing new electric vehicle from Volkswagen. So this ID.Buzz is fully electric, it's rear-wheel drive, 204 PS, so around 200 horsepower. I think it's got a 77 kilowatt battery, I think it is. On the range, on the dashboard, and I know you can't really go on these things too much because they move around, but on the range on the dashboard, at the moment it says it's got 97% charge. And it says it's got 490 kilometers of range. So
wow.
When I've talked to the team here, they reckon probably around 250 miles of real world range is what we can expect out of one of these. So let me show you around some of the features. So they were saying that the huge Volkswagen badge in the center is exactly what they wanted to try and bring back that kind of T1 and T2 feel. You can see with the two-tone colors, they've tried to give it that slight V shape at the front and kind of make it look quite nice and retro, and I think it's really worked. Let us know in the comments below if you think this is a retro reboot too far or whether you think it's just right. Volkswagen have got a good bit of track record with this, with the Beetle as well in the past, and I personally think this looks amazing. Can you think of a better looking EV on the market at the moment? I know there'll be loads of people saying Porsche Taycan or, you know, maybe the Teslas. For me, this is just something else. We go to Cornwall a lot, so actually having something like this, which you can put roof bars on, you can put surfboards on the top, you know, anything like that, wouldn't that just be amazing? And it looks fantastic. It really does. So Volkswagen have said that there's going to be 4 different two-tone colours for this, 5 metallics, a pearlescent and a solid colour, so there'll be loads of different colours which this can come in. Obviously loads of different alloy wheel choices. This one in particular has got front camera, side cameras, rear camera, so all round. It's got radar cruise, obviously. It's also got a new swarm-based data system which helps with the lane assist in particular. So when you're on the motorway, it goes further than just having normal lane assist because it learns what the other traffic's doing around it to keep you centered in the lane really well. This particular one's got heated windscreen. It's got the little bars in the windscreen when you look really closely. You probably can't see them there. They're very small on this one. Lane assist, all of the usual different features that you would expect. So in terms of size, this one is 4.7 meters long, so it's slightly shorter. It's about 20 centimeters shorter than a T6.1. So if you've got a T6 or a 6.1, slightly shorter, but the wheels are further apart, so you've got a bit more interior space. It's 1.958 meters high, and anyone who's got a California with the awning and everything on the side, who's ever tried to go into a multi-story car park, probably has done that at some point because they're really worried about how tall it is. Volkswagen have tried really hard to keep this under 2 meters, which obviously they've done. On the roof, there's a couple of screw points where obviously the rails and things can be mounted. And they've tried to keep that kind of flair in terms of design as they go down the side here. So, you know, even these kind of mouldings on the side panel just give it that kind of, I think, slightly sporty, slightly cool, slightly retro-ish look. And it's got obviously a inbuilt spoiler at the back on the back window, and all the LED rear lights tie in nicely with the LED front lights. Some really nice little touches on here. If you haven't seen the launch video for the ID.Buzz, even in things like the window here, there's a little tiny, I don't know whether you can see that, there's a little tiny bus which is actually etched into the glass. Just a really cool little touch. Obviously on the back here again, retro white styling in terms of the badges. The tow bar on here is electric, so it goes away and hides underneath.
Wow.
And comes back out again. And Volkswagen was saying that this can tow up to a ton. So in terms of being versatile, being that kind of vehicle that you can use all the time. Use it to go to trips to the beach, go out for walks. You could tow a trailer tent with this if you wanted to. Put a small trailer on with all of your normal camping gear in if you wanted. Actually, towing a ton with an EV, that's really quite decent. In terms of interior space at the back, so obviously electric tailgate on this, it's got electric side doors as well. So in the back here, again, a really good sized boot and tailgate area. You've got a hook on here for your shopping. Obviously little details again, like the little logo which is printed into the little trim piece at the back here. It's just pretty cool. USB sockets at the top, cup holders. This is all if there was another row of seats in the back here. But you can see really good space. Obviously you've got a blind in here which you're able to remove if you need to maximise the load space. And if you just stay there, Sarah, I'll just show you this. Hello. So in here, each of these seats move forward and back. So you can move them forward like that so you can get a bit more luggage space. And you can also do that, so you can get a bit more luggage space as well. Yeah, it's pretty versatile actually, and this seat slides on its own, and that 2-seat also slides. So that slides as a 2 forward like that, and obviously that folds down too. So pretty versatile, really. Welcome to the back. So sitting in the back, loads of headspace, so loads of head height in here. You've got nice little pockets on the back of the seats, nice and practical. In the sliding doors, you can see over the other side there's a USB socket. That's a USB socket there, which is quite handy. So if you're in the back and you want to charge things or whatever, you can do that. The backrest on the seat, you can relax down, so you could just be driving over there, and if I get it right, there we go. You can get it back to normal again. So really good leg room in here, and again, because you can adjust where the seat is, you can adjust how much leg room there is in the back. My feet slightly go underneath the seat in front, which is sometimes a problem with EVs, but I can get my feet under a little bit, which is pretty good. Obviously a grab handle here, coat hook and everything else, and it's got adjustable height seat belts in the front too. Okay, so we're in the driver's seat now. I think this is a cracking view from here, I have to say. So when I sit here and I look, I've got quite a square side window, good visibility out of the mirror. These have got blind spot monitoring. There's a tailgate release on the door card down here. All these materials, I think, feel slightly better than the ID.3 when I've sat in one of those recently. All this chroming up here feels nice. Got this lovely kind of wood here. All feels really quite nice quality. Nice padded area on the door card as well, just where you put your elbow when you're on a drive. The seat itself has obviously got a nice armrest on both sides actually. So normal kind of captain's chair, and a really kind of retro cool feel in here. So obviously quite kind of curved air vents. You can see them at the top as well, just on both sides. Down here we've got fold out cup holders. Anyone with a T6 will have had the drawer if you had the comfort dashboard. Anyone who's got a 6.1 probably sorely misses having a couple of cup holders, which are quite easy to hand, and that feels really good and solid and folds away if you don't need it. This center console here clips into the floor and again has got storage, and even this little central piece here is apparently it's an ice scraper and a bottle opener.
Oh, nifty.
So who knew? Mobile phone charging socket in there. That's the wireless charging pad in there. There's a couple of USBs. And then over the other side we've got really decent sized glove box. Rubber up here on the shelf as well. USB socket actually in the door, which is quite clever. So if you've got a passenger who wants to charge the phone and everything else, they can do that just in the door over there really easily. White steering wheel. I don't think you're a particular fan, are you, with that? No, don't really fancy the white steering wheel. No. And I'm still not overly sure about the touchy buttons rather than actual buttons. We've still got actual buttons down here for the doors and things. So why couldn't we have actual buttons on the steering wheel? I know it's the trend at the moment, but I know I'm going to sound like a motoring journalist now, but I just don't like it. It's just really, if you're on the motorway and you're trying to concentrate on the road and you just want to feel for a button, it's all a bit slippery and smooth. But I do really like this big screen in the centre for the sat-nav and all the controls and everything, although that's still got the kind of sliding capacitive thing for the heater and the volume and things. Gear control is on the side here, so you press P at the end to put the handbrake on and put it in park, and then you twist this lever around for drive, reverse, and it's a bit like a BMW i3, and the ID.3 Volkswagen as well. But visibility-wise, I think it's brilliant. These windows make a really big difference. That windscreen feels, I'm not even touching it. It's a long way away. I can't imagine how you clean that. It's going to be a joy to clean. How would you clean that? I don't know. But yeah, it feels special, actually. And I think, I love it. I absolutely love it.
So here's the main test for me. Being a shorty, I'm 5'1"3/4, and the 3/4 is the most important bit. There's a few things I look for. How easy is it to get in? Where do you put the seat? And does this door mirror cause an issue? I've come across some cars these days where the A-pillar's getting really, really thick, and where they mount these door mirrors becomes a bit of a problem and a bit of an issue at roundabouts when you're trying to see, so you've got a huge blind spot. So let's see how it is. Oh, that's quite a big step up there. That's quite different from the T6 and 6.1. So, yeah. And there's no grab handle, so this isn't going to be the most elegant of getting into the vehicle, I don't think. Here we go. That way. Ooh. Oh, it's good for your glutes.
Looks all right.
Yeah, so it's quite a big leap up, and I think that's probably something then to be thinking about when you're on a campsite, because that floor level is obviously the same for the rest of the van, so it's going to be quite a big step on the side door. So.
And how are you with closing the door? Because it's a big door.
That's a long way away. Oh, it's okay. It's all right. Yeah, big step up into it. Okay, so let's just wait whilst the seat goes forward.
Oh, it's got electric seats, has it?
Electric seats, there we go. That's probably the right kind of place. There we go.
And how are you finding the mirror?
That's not too bad, actually. I can see this side of it, I can see there, and actually this pillar, I don't know whether you'd call it an A pillar, because there's actually a...
Is it
an A plus pillar?
A plus.
That's like the A minus.
A1 and A2.
But you've got this nice big window here, actually, so there's a good amount of visibility there.
So it's not too bad for you.
And I can imagine if you're coming up to a roundabout that you've actually got enough visibility to see, and this doesn't become a big block in your vision. So, yeah. So, the important bit. When can you have one? Apparently, all of the spec will be out in May, so you can actually take a look and see what you could get. You can then order it in July, so that's July of 2022, and they're expecting first deliveries in October of 2022. So actually not that long to wait.
Okay, so if you haven't heard, there's going to be two different versions of the ID.Buzz. There's the ID.Buzz, which is what this is, so that's like the passenger vehicle, and there's also going to be the ID.Buzz Cargo. Now the ID.Buzz Cargo has effectively not got the rear seats. It's a bit more utilitarian inside. Still looks pretty cool, I have to say, with the big centre screen and the kind of the layout's all the same, but it hasn't quite got the same fabrics and things inside. So it's a bit tougher. But in terms of load capacity at the back, it's 4 meters cubed in terms of load capacity, and that means you can get 2 Euro pallets in the back. So as you load them in, 2 full pallets go in the back of it. It's a really big capacity. You can also have an option of a bulkhead in there. And the reason I'm mentioning the cargo is because Volkswagen have said that they are going to do a California version of this. They've said it's not coming until 2025 at the earliest, so it's a long time to wait. And I think that's an amount of time which is long enough for converters to get interested in converting either the cargo version or the passenger version into a camper. Now, I'd be amazed if some of the big pop-top manufacturers aren't already either working with Volkswagen or have bought or on the waiting list for some of these to be able to make pop-tops ready. Because wouldn't it be amazing if we started to see, even before the California, wouldn't it be amazing to start seeing pop-top versions of a fully electric camper with this kind of range? And that's the important thing. It's a real proper range for going on proper journeys where you're talking 200 plus miles. So I think this is a revolutionary vehicle. It's not necessarily revolutionary in terms of what's underneath, because we've seen that before in the ID.3 and ID.4. I think it's revolutionary in terms of what it can deliver in this particular form. It's so universal. You know, the interior is huge compared to other EVs. It really is just, I think it looks amazing. It can suit so many different families. In terms of price, Volkswagen are being a bit guarded about that at the moment. For obvious reasons, they're just trying to work it all out, and it's only the launch, official launch today. They reckon it's going to start from about £50,000 for the passenger version, including VAT, and the cargo version is going to start from 40,000 or under 40,000 plus VAT. So that gives you a kind of area that it's going to start from. But when you look at the other prices of EVs across the whole of the market, not just from Volkswagen Group, and you see what you're getting with this in terms of size, actually that feels pretty reasonable in the market. So EVs, what's your take? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Let us know whether you love the ID.Buzz as much as we do. We haven't been able to drive this, but just even looking around it, sitting in it, having a bit of a play with it, we feel really privileged. So thank you, Volkswagen, for that. And we can't wait to have a go with one as soon as that's possible, and we can bring that to you guys too. Let us know in the comments below if you love it, and we'll see you again soon for some more California time.